Hello and welcome back. So we have this first. We are going to go through a few more posts and try to reach a conclusion. And first of them is from Dr. Profit, who says, Sailor was selling you the idea that selling Bitcoin is impossible. Today he discovered the sell button is actually working. So you see what he did here. So yeah, the irony, Sailor is my capitulation indicator. So we have the capitulation, and this guy is mostly right. He's usually right, and I didn't want to believe him, but I saw that he's got a few good predictions, and let's see this what happened and when he sold. So I asked Gemini for more detailed breakdown of the sell, and it's like this. So in tranche 1, 29-30 June, he sold, so they sold 1,363 $80.8 million, and tranche 2 from 1 to 5th July 2,225 bitcoins, about 135 million. So why did they sell? The liquidation part of the company newly authorized Bitcoin monetization program, which permits a tactical sales up to 1.5 billion in Bitcoin. Executive Chairman Saylor confirmed that proceeds were utilized to fund preferred stock dividends. So it is as they said that so Dr. Profit was right in the past. He said he will have to stock to pay some dividends, and yeah, he was right. Now, following this liquidation strategy, still maintains a dominant corporate treasury consisting 483,000 Bitcoin, 775, alongside 2.55 billion in US dollar reserves. So it's a lot. It is not going to end up poor anyway, and the company is doing well. But yeah, the doctor predicted this. He knew what will come. But what's the most interesting part? As he says, is this the capitulation indicator? Now, during this sell starting on 29th of June, was it? Yeah. So starting about here, and the last sale was in 5th July. So what happened? We didn't see a drop. So I want to make a bold prediction before going and reading more posts, and I would say this is the bottom. I believe this was the bottom actually. We might have, as I said, inverted head and shoulders, which would be one here, the head here, and another something like this. But I believe this was the bottom. Now, you do as you wish. For me, either if it was or if it wasn't, it's still a good accumulation period for alts. They are at huge discounts now, and this might have been the bottom. Actually, might have been the bottom. So it's a very high chance, and yeah, let me know what you think about this, and let's go to the next post now. So this one is from Crypto Aici. I translated it from Romanian to English so everyone would understand it. Now he says, Trump mocks investors who bet against the market. President Donald Trump has sent a new message about the evolution of financial markets, criticizing the investors who have opened short positions. A few guys who went short, poor them, they are in big trouble. They are getting whipped out of the market. Wiped out of the market. My accent is not 100%. So Trump continued in his characteristic style. I've never liked shorts. The statement comes in the context where the main American stock exchanges continue to hit new historical highs. And many investors bet on decline who bet on decline have been forced to close their position at a loss. Why is it important? As the market rises, the investors who are short can be forced to buy shares to close their positions, a phenomenon known as short squeeze, which can further fuel the increases. Conclusion: Trump message reflects the current optimism in financial markets and comes at a time when investor sentiment remains strongly positive despite high valuations and macroeconomic uncertainties. So yeah, we have high valuation on the S&P, and yeah, you never know when it's the top, you never know when it's the bottom. You might predict it right a few times, but yeah, people who keep doing just one thing, just shorting or just longing, you have to think about a lot of things about the sentiment and to reflect on the market. Now let's go to the next post, which says strategy sold 3,588 Bitcoin last week, which is true. That's 112 times more than the 32 Bitcoins they sold a few weeks ago, which freaked out the market. Yeah, everyone got scared when he sold the 32 Bitcoins and the market went down a lot. And now that he's selling more Bitcoin, nothing happened. You see it on the market, nothing has happened here. And last time when he sold, was it here? I think it was here. Yeah, somewhere here. And the market went down, and yeah, we might have had the bottom, but we will have to see. And I believe it's a very high chance to have been the bottom, and maybe Michael Saylor will buy now way more Bitcoins because he's already paid his dividends. They got the spreadsheet, they know, okay, we paid this, we have this much money to buy more Bitcoin, maybe at a bigger discount. Now he could have sold it, of course, at 100k, but he didn't. So yeah, notably Bitcoin price has opened last week at 59.5. Strategy sold 3,588. Over the course of the week, Bitcoin price went up to 63.5k. You see, so last time it was just fear mongering, and it might have been another reason, or we had the guys with high leverage selling on a panic, just closing their position, and that was it. So there was no liquidity to grab and nobody to be scared, and they just sold it quietly and nothing happened. So the bigger picture, strategy is net buying. Of course, it's net buying. Strategy bought 85,296 Bitcoin in Q2. So their combined selling for Q2 was 3,620 in a total. So yeah, they are buying way more than they are selling, and yeah, the 32 was just to scare the market. He was nice to sell it as a warning first, and then sold what he had to sell. So I think that's it. Let's check the next post, which is from Europe. And while I'm in Europe, I think I don't really like the European laws and how they are doing, but that's another discussion. And on a first occasion, I will move out to Asia, but yeah, for now I have to stay here. So cash band above 10,000. Bitcoin requires ID above 1,000. Privacy coins banned. Mika eliminating 90% of crypto firms. Passport access the internet. So, the real criminals will bypass this and everything above. The laws are just for law-abiding citizens. And I'm not doing anything wrong, but this rule, it bothers me because it's, if the information leaks, they can just do some data stealing with it, and I wouldn't like that. So yeah, it is what it is. I don't have a say in this one besides voting, but that's not now. So the next post is from Benjamin Cowan. I did not always believe in the 4-year cycle for Bitcoin. I used to think it was silly and that the market had to be more complicated than that, but then the market proved me wrong. So I admitted I was wrong, learned from my mistakes, and became a better investor. This cycle thing, it applies to Bitcoin, but it doesn't apply to alts. So this cycle, a lot of new Bitcoiners faded the 4-year cycle and relentlessly mocked anyone calling for the bear market. For many of them, instead of recognizing we were wrong, they continued to laugh at anyone willing to discuss the simplicity of the 4-year cycle. I'm not a Bitcoiner. I have alts. I'm all in alts. I have 0 Bitcoin. And I used to have like $100 in Bitcoin or $200. But, if you have just a little bit money to invest, you cannot go in Bitcoin. Now, if you want to hold it long term and you don't want to, you don't want the 10x and other stuff, you can go in Bitcoin. But yeah, I'm not in the position to talk about this now. But there are more projects, more interesting projects, more volatile ones, and the Bitcoin used to be like that, and that's when it attracted a lot of people, and now it's no longer like that, I would say. And if you want the excess, you can bet on smaller things, and if you want to have something safe, you can just go for other things. I think Bitcoin is more like an indicator rather than a safe asset or a very volatile asset. Now it's in transition, in my opinion. Now you can believe what you want, but that's just my opinion. So let's go to the next post, which is from Crypto Rover. Is the AI bubble finally bursting? I don't think so. Now he's thinking so, but I'm not. Samsung just posted the greatest quarterly profit in tech history. $58 billion, 1,810% year over year. The stock fell 7.7 anyway. Now it's down 23.75 from its peak in just 15 days. Here is the alarming part. The market already knew these numbers were coming. Analysts, institutions, and retail investors had been positioning for this quarter for months. The moment the numbers confirmed what everyone already expected, there was nobody left to buy. That is what a fully priced market looks like. When the best earnings in corporate history produce a crash, it means AI trade has run out of buyers at those levels. I don't think that. I don't believe that. But yeah, I really don't believe the AI bubble is bursting. Why would it burst? You have to bring improvements. It's a big project, and you have to bring it improvements over the years. The improvements won't happen overnight. It will have better times of the year and worse, bad times in the year. And I think that's it. I think it's here to stay and to evolve. Now, it will not just go up. but maybe this was a local top, and I think we are going sideways for a while, maybe going down for a little bit, but I don't think it's the bubble is bursting. I think it's just circus and fear mongering. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I would really like to hear your opinions, and see you with the next one.